as I heal, I'm healing my past and I'm healing my future. I got put on fire and I burned a little bit and I came out of it with, with so much empowerment.
Yeah.
But it was repeating itself. So then I chose that with my children, it wasn't going to repeat itself.
Wholeness and love, family, and welcome back to another episode of Conscious Educators, the heart-centered classroom. My name is Rodney Solomon.
And I'm Mychal Mills, and we are so honored to have you here today in this episode and this powerful return to our roots. And this is a journey into the sacred intersections. We gotta start that over.
Use your spirit. You know the introduction.
Yeah. It was a little, my apologies, brother.
Take two. And
apologies.
3. Get a little nervous, Miss E's on the scene.
You're making me nervous.
I was moving my foot around down here.
Now. Come on.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
looking
sorry.
at you to
We
give me
typically don't do this.
A collective breath in. Big sigh out. Wholeness and love, family, and welcome back to another episode of Conscious Educators, the heart-centered classrooms. I am your host, Rodney Solomon.
Peace and love, family. My name is Mychal Mills, and we're honored that you're all here with us today. And today we're just going to journey into the intersections of the sacred dimension, returning to our roots and learning how to not just birth, right, which we're going to talk a little bit more about today, but to be in community, to heal, and to be in purpose.
Yeah, we often talk about conscious education as a path of embodiment, transformation, and awakening. But today we are going to take that even deeper. I'm going down. That song don't relax.
Because we're all
around. With a woman who has been here since the very beginning of our journey of KYDS, one of the core origin points that really began our exponential growth. Someone whose heart beats at the center of our work. She is a mama of her own, but a mama of the community. And we are excited to sit down with someone that's really near and dear to our hearts.
Yeah, and we're sitting down with our soul sister.
Soul sister.
It's going to be a soundtrack, y'all. It's going to be a soundtrack, but our longest standing teammate and employee, more than an employee, just a soul sister and someone who's a soldier doing this work. Not a soldier of war, but a soldier of love and peace. And this individual is so much to the community, not just a certified doula, yes, giving birth, but the birth of dreams, the awakening of love in each and every person. And she is a person that not just sees you, but really connects to the deeper version of you. Like she's seeing through your soul as she's doing right now. And a true bridge, or a mother of three, like Rod said, but, a bridge of the ancestral wisdom, the ancestral intelligence we were talking about prior in previous episodes. But we want to invite our dear soul sister, Erica Uter, into the space. How we doing
Hey, let's
today?
clap it out. Clap it out. All that hype. Like, who's on the stage? You got the video. You can see it. But it's so how are you feeling today, Miss E?
I'm feeling blessed and grateful to be here with you guys. Yeah, I might shed a tear here and there, but man, to be here with you guys and to see you guys, your growth, right? And when I first met Mychal, the mission just brought, and I feel spirit here with me, my great grandmother. It's just beautiful to see two brothers grow and believe in a mission and just believe in your heart and your passion that there is more to life and be able to give back, right, to humanity, to our babies, to our children. It's just an honor. It's an honor to be here with you both.
Hey. Well, I think in the tone of how we like to start things off, because I feel that appreciation is definitely mutual, we got to begin with our gratitude and appreciation for you and all those who are listening to this episode.
Yeah, so feel the resonance of these words inside of your heart. We appreciate you.
We care about you.
And we love you. And we truly mean that from our hearts to your hearts, Erica, but everyone out there as well,
Yes.
And just a little magic challenge. Sprinkle that love. Continue to sprinkle that love within yourself. And tell yourself, I appreciate me. I care about me. And I love me. And make sure you say that to those around you.
Each and every day. And we're gonna begin in the typical podcast fashion. We're gonna check in. And we was just talking to the youth today at the summit, the Be Swell Summit with SPTS and Lead. You were at Brookdale campus.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful to hear the reflections of these kids realizing how important it is to pause, to check in, and to connect. So the check-in question for today, right? On a scale of 1 to 5, how are you feeling? 5 is the best, 1 is the worst. And in the doula fashion, right, what parts of your life are asking to be rebirthed right now? What parts of your life are asking to be rebirthed right now? What part is ready to be seen, supported, or awakened mentally, emotionally, or spiritually? And I'll say myself, I'm like a 4.8, 9. Tuesdays are my day after fasting, Monday, and really taking that time to go into deeper stillness and being at Brookdale campus and working with the youth and pouring into them always lights me up, and just clarity and purpose. And I would say what is asking to be rebirthed right now, man, discipline, order, structure, routine, ritual, not just these big, I like to do these big challenges, 30-day challenges, 21-day challenges, but in my reflection spirit's like, I need you to carry this energy into regular routine where you're gradually building this strength throughout your lifetime. And that is what's calling in my life right now. I'm going to pass it, Brother Mike.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. For me, 1 to 5, I'm feeling like a 4.99, right? 4.99, y'all. And I'm feeling really good.
Keychain kids.
Keychain kids. A little dollar on that thing. But for me too, it's the day after liquid fasting, Monday, a practice I've been embodying for years. So I feel really light, if that makes sense. And what parts of me are being rebirthed right now? I'm gonna say creativity and joy. I've been really creativity. My creative outlet is poetry, and I've been really I find myself in the shower and poems are starting to come out, and I'm like, oh, okay, you got a little something here, you got some more, and I notice when the vessel's open, more flows through me. So a lot more creativity, and not just creativity within my own personal self, but being able to create within the organization, because you're creating a reality that we want to see. So that creativity that really starts from the deeper space within myself, that extends itself to my physical reality. So, yeah, creativity and joy for sure. And I'll ask you, Erica, Miss E. We sometimes call you.
Right.
Right? How are you?
Thank you for sharing. I'm feeling a 4.9. 4.9. Feeling very grounded, felt very blessed and grateful. And for me, I would say it's really growth, being able to really care for that inner child and seeing that growth, look at a reflection of me when I was younger, right? And the work that I do, and as I see my children grow, that inner child of me is growing, right? And that's what I, right now, just being able to work on and is blossoming, right? Being able to let that little girl know when she felt some type of way, now I see you, now I hear you, now I acknowledge you, and you're pure and beautiful. No matter what took place, you made a choice, and here you are. And I think the deeper that I go, right, I'm able to continue to heal and be able to be that that model for my children, my community, my family. Yeah.
That reminds me of the one thing I did remember in CCD class in my childhood is like, man, to enter the kingdom of heaven, we must be like a child. But what happens when that inner child is not fully healed or grounded, but when it is healed, it creates the potential to really awaken something deeper inside of you. So, beautiful reflection.
Yeah. And I think you've always been a reminder for our organization to embody that level of love, especially for our inner child. I think you, out of all the staff, you kind of bring that into the space the most, and not just in your words, but in your embodiment. So I just want to lift that up.
Oh, man, yeah. And we want this to be a highlight, a place of upliftment, a place of giving you your flowers, but also, man, Miss E got a powerful story. And, being in the trenches, being in the schools, being in the community. So we're going to create a space to really begin on your roots and your origins, right? And I want you to take us back to the beginning. What first called you into working with children, with youth. And how did that calling evolve over the years? As far back as you can remember, please begin to share with us that origin point, the roots of Miss Erica.
Sure. I think that calling, right, to work with children started within a place of like deep reverence of natural light, seeing a natural light in children, being able to feel. I always felt energy. So being able to feel their sensitivity, their honesty, their wisdom, and I think children remind me of truth, right? So for me, I was drawn to protect the truth, protect children, and through my trauma, I felt like I didn't have the protection. So as I grew older and I was healing, I went back to heal that little girl, to say, you are protected now. No matter what took place, I'm here to protect you and protect your truth, the truth of an innocent child, right? So for me, it didn't matter if it was going to be as being a mother, being a Montessori guide, being a doula, community worker. For me, I saw children not as a vessel to be filled, but as a soul to be honored. And for me, children are honored. And that's what it goes back. I honor that little girl inside of me, and that's where I find my healing, and I continue to do the work that I do.
Hey, that's beautiful. And even here, just kind of reflecting that, it seems like the experience that life gave you was pretty much shaping and molding you to be where you're at right now. And when you embrace that, the pain or the lack of being able to be held safe, you have transformed and embodied it to be that very same safety that those around you need. And I'm grateful life gave you that experience, because we are here today sitting at this table. I'm going to pass it over to you, Brother Mike.
Yeah, and speaking to that, because you have seen, you kind of seen the organization in its infancy.
Right.
And
infancy.
Yeah. I know it's about to but let's talk about the beginnings of our connection. And since 2017, 2018, what do you remember about those early days when you started with working with KYDS? And what did you notice internally within yourself? And what did you notice regarding the organization?
Yeah. I always had a vision, a goal, and I used to say, when I hit the lotto, I'm going to open up a shelter for single moms and homeless youth. And I relate to both things. So when I met you at a community event, and I believe it was at the Salvation Army.
Yes,
It was at the Salvation Army, and we and you spoke about the mission of KYDS. Within my heart, I'm like, wow, that's something that I've always wanted to do, is work with youth, and at that point, for me, it was like, it was a dream. I was stepping into a dream when, I kind of told you guys, like, I'm here. I'm already higher. When you're ready, I'm here. Like, my heart, my soul told me that I'm going to be doing the work that I've always wanted to do. But I didn't know it was going to be in this shape and form, right? For me, I just thought of a shelter, supporting single moms, supporting and helping homeless youth, right? Again, because I was once there. I relate to that. And I don't want anyone to ever go through that. It wasn't a good feeling, right? Being a single mom, it wasn't a choice, When you don't have the guidance, sometimes as a child, as a young adult, you make certain decisions that it leads you to certain things, right? But there is always a chance that the universe gives you, and you can rectify and, and take your power back, that no matter what took place in your life, you're no longer a victim. And I had a choice, and I made the choice that I said to myself, I'm no longer a victim. From this point, I need to make a difference, because now I have a little girl who's looking at me, and I need to protect her, and I see her truth and her innocence. So I was mothering myself as I was mothering my child.
Hey. Song in my head. Victorious we are. We are. We are. Not a victim, victorious.
I do want to lift up, that was powerful, because I want to lift up something that you said that just totally makes sense to me now, is you wanted to provide a shelter, but you have become a shelter for someone else. And even with the homelessness, your heart is the home for so many kids. It just like, wow, okay, so you already are providing this shelter and home through your own embodiment. That's powerful.
Yeah. And Miss E often brings up, because when in 2017 kids is a lot different than 2024, 2025 kids. Me and Mike was just two brothers on a mission, so the curriculum and a lot of the content lived inside of our minds and our hearts, and we could just go into a room where we started to get very key, valuable lessons when we started bringing on more staff on building systems and processes. And I remember we took our first trip. We had a big training for a program around holacracy in Amsterdam, and we kind of just threw two of our new hires, right? Miss E was one of them, and just said, can you hold down our school-based program for this week that we're gone? Just make sure nothing crazy happens. Be loving, be your divine self. But tell me what those days were.
Onboarding on how you learn how to swim.
Yeah,
right?
Just throw them in the water. And she ain't drowned. She's still here. But what was it like in those days versus what you see where we're at right now? How much has changed and shifted from the beginning to current point in time?
I remember all of us having a passion, right? Share a vision, right? Of healing and helping our community, right? Even though we didn't have the structure, we were just a handful of souls. That's what I look at it, right? Following our inner guidance. That's how I see you guys, right? Trusting, right? Trusting that love, that mindfulness, the being authentic, right? And to be able to just transform lives. Yeah. Because we were transforming our lives, right? We were transforming that pain into love and compassion and being authentic. And I felt that when I came on board and you guys had to leave, I'm like, all right, this is time. It's here. I just have to do it, And I did it. I got put on fire and I burned a little bit, and I came out of it with so much empowerment, and I learned in the process, and here I am.
Oh man, it's like you're home now in that high school. That's the beauty of it. Like now, it's like they're gonna probably put a statue in Asbury Park High School to really give thanks to Miss E for what the love and teaches though. But although she's a kids employee, we got so much to talk about. We're not gonna focus so much on just the journey of care. Could be a whole other episode. Just the journey and life and times of kids on the inside. But this is Mental Health Awareness Month, right? And just in the name of Mental Health Awareness Month, from the work that you do and the many different dimensions that you're a part of, what does mental well-being mean to you, especially as a mother, a doula, an educator, and the spaces that you hold so sacredly within yourself?
I would say it's a sacred maintenance of self, inner self, being able to care for yourself, being able to just honoring the full spectrum of all your emotions that come up, being able to understand what it is that I'm feeling at that moment, pausing, taking a deep breath, and instead of reacting, just responds from the heart, right? That wasn't me. That wasn't modeled for me. So for me is now putting myself through the work to be able to be a better mother, a better community member. Because I'm modeling for my children and I want them to be different. I want to break generational trauma, and I know as I heal, I'm healing my past and I'm healing my future.
It's Avatar, the cartoon episode, episode. I know you watched a little bit. So what are your non-negotiables at this present moment when it comes to your mental well-being? Like, what are something that I have to make sure that I'm doing each and every day when I'm going through this journey of serving others? How do I first serve myself?
So in the morning is stillness. There's no other way. If I have to get up an hour before, the stillness, meditation, moving my body, my ritual, maybe reading a little passage from a book, maybe the Bible sometimes, maybe the Quran, something that for me, it helps me to start my day. Taking that starting with the right foot, but stillness is number one, being able to connect to my breath, my heart, my intuition, and just listen to my guidance, listen to the whisper of my great-grandmother. I love wisdom. I love hanging out with people that are older than me, because I feel that They have so much wisdom, and I love knowledge. So if I can sit and pick your brain and tell me more about what the past was like, I want to know. You know, it intrigues me.
That's what we call the original AI, not artificial intelligence, but your ancestral intelligence. So yeah, let's gotta put that plug up in there.
No, I heard you say that a couple times today.
yeah.
The original AI you said earlier was Alan
Robinson.
Robinson.
Practice. But that's divine. I think that's a simple, brief little masterclass on things that are necessary for us to navigate and hold space by first creating that space for ourselves. So thank you for that reflection.
Yeah, and this next question really dives into the heart of your work, our work, and it's funny too because I think about this question with Montessori, especially when you came, like that's where the Montessori connection within the organization came as well. And I remember you took a deeper training with Montessori and like you really embodied it. You brought a lot of that knowledge back to the organization, but in part with that, you know, your role as a Montessori certified educator, a doula, a mother of 3, and how do you see these? How do these roles feed into your purpose, and how do you hold them together with intention?
I don't see the roles separately from each other. I really don't. I would say they all have different expression and purpose, but I don't see them different from each other. To hold space, to transform, right? To protect the sacred of life as a doula, because I feel I'm protecting the sacred, I'm guiding, right? And I see how important that work is, right? Being in ether and then coming through that wound and what takes place, right? That I think a lot of us don't have an understanding. I didn't have an understanding before, but as I dive in, I connect more to self. I'm like, wow, it's more than this, right? It's more than just birthing a child. It's beyond that. And I call it magical, but as a Montessorian, right, for me is being able to guide, not control, right? Prepare the environment where children can learn and feel deeply seen, right? And allow themselves to be that individual little soul moving through the environment and guiding themselves in what they want to do. They have a voice and they have a purpose. So for me, it's like, how can I protect that?
So it's that shelter again. See that shelter. It's a theme.
Right,
theme.
right.
Yeah.
So as you explain it, I'm now going back and I'm like, yeah, I did create. That is, I did create a shelter.
Because if Asbury Park had a like invisible force shield, WandaVision, you know, I think it would be East Vision holding together Asbury Park High School.
And even dope too, because even when you said that I don't see them as separate, yes, you're a physical doula to mothers on this physical earth, but you also help all beings give birth to a deeper state of their consciousness. And you kind of create that space, like you see the wounds they got to go back into, and through your love, your nurturing, your guidance, your presence, the same thing that you would do in the space of a doula, you are doing that in multiple dimensions. So it's like there are physical components of each role, but there are ethereal components to each role that all kind of spiral into this whole version called Erica.
Right.
Hey.
I agree.
Let me ask you just a follow-up question on like your roles and what you do, because there's a lot of people who do service, right? They go out, they might do some community service, they might get back for a couple hours, this, that, and the third. And oftentimes I find in those spaces I don't feel the deep connection. And I want to ask you, because when you're in those spaces, whether it's, you know, at the railroad tracks or you're in the community, going door to door and just really feeding into the community as much as you can, there's a different level of energy. There's a different battery, you know, that's driving that. And let me ask you, you know, what is it that allows you to selflessly give into the community, not just from a humanistic point of view, but on a soul level, on a spiritual level?
I think I'm going to take it back to humanistic, like you just said, right? I think the love that I have for humanity is beyond. I think I'm doing God's work. I'm doing my ancestral work, right? I think they did it, right? They paid their dues. Now it's for me to see people for who they are and not see them on the outside, but see them, see their soul, right? And I just love for humanity. Just love for humanity and being able to know that I see you, I acknowledge you, I'm here. How can I support? How can I help? There is a solution.
Mm-hmm.
Because, sometimes people feel like I'm at a stop.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see beyond this. I'm stuck in the chaos. But when you sit still and you hear and you listen, deeply listen to that inner voice, there's an answer for whatever you're going through, right? And there's a choice that individual has to make. So for me, if I can come and be the reminder and to tell you, I love you, I see you, I care about you, and things will be okay, it'll get better. I think even when I say those words, I'm telling myself, because that's what I wanted to hear when I was going through my chaos, when I was going through being a single mom, and
in that beautiful response, I definitely see there's a level of deep humbleness, because there are stories that I hear from Miss E all the time, from parents, community members calling at 1 o'clock in the morning, folks needing support as a doula to support people that I just met. Like, I remember someone that was like, when you first became a doula, I needed help giving birth to a baby. Like, I think that love that you mentioned around humanity is so strong and present in all the things that are not seen on the paper, that are not seen on the checklist. And I'm curious, like, what gives you the fuel to show up in this way? Like, even to this day, I know I feel like you're getting younger as time goes by. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were definitely older in the beginning of kids, but we found a fountain of youth. But what helps you show up each and every day in that capacity? Like, what is it that drives you, that fuels you to really be that bridge to support folks, even when there's no credit or accolades being given, and that just showing up in that capacity?
I don't need the spotlight. I am the spotlight. I know that my ancestors are seeing me, and blessings come, and they don't stop. It's overwhelming of blessings and how beautiful, that I'm like, wow, my prayers is being answered. I'm here to just do what my ancestors are asking me to do, or God is asking me to do. I'm just doing the work, and I think that's what fuels me. My children as well fuel me a lot. They're my teachers. They're my teachers. They're my guide. They're my gurus. They tell me like it is, and they help remind me why I'm here doing the work I do. And as I'm growing with them, as I'm guiding them, and see the blessings that they're receiving for the work that I'm putting, I'm like, yeah, this is everything. This is life. This is life. For me, this is life. And it fills my heart, so.
I thank you for that. So that why is kind of knowing that why is essential in giving you the fuel to show up every day.
Yes.
And the ancestors, your children, and the love for humanity is thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go off script a little bit, and because I think as we're going into the ancestral work, and you talked a lot about your spirituality, your ancestral work. What was the first moment that you consciously recall connecting with spirituality, and what did you feel at that time?
I feel that tingling in my body when I feel the presence of my great-grandmother. I prayed to her a lot. My mother prayed to her a lot. And once I received a reading, and they told me, the person that gave me the reading said, you have a lot of angels around you. You have a lot of guidance around you. And you have this lady who's been here for many, many years, who is guiding you and protecting you. And as I got deeper to understand what she said to me, and I go back and I read that, because she gave me, she wrote it out as well. It takes me back to the time, because I met my great-grandmother before I came to the United States, She was so powerful, so strong, so beautiful, so pure. And her wisdom was just like unbelievable for me as a little girl, you know. And I feel that she took care of my mother, so I had something to return. You know, she raised my mother, so I had something to return back. And she chose me. I feel that she chose me. And I feel her in my presence. I feel her in my body. I feel the tingling, you know. I feel it sometimes in my hands when I hold or I put my hands on one of the moms because I just want her to feel that it's going to be okay, you know, or that contraction is just getting you closer to your child, you know, and let's just breathe. I've reminded her, just breathe and let go, surrender. The more you can surrender, the more you can notice that it's not as painful or it's not as, it's not here to hurt you. It's here to bring forth life. So I just feel, you know, I feel it in my body. I feel it in my heart. I feel it in my hands. Yeah.
I really want to dive in there too, because you're mentioning something that we've elevated over the last few episodes, which is ancestral intelligence. And you mentioned tingling. You mentioned feeling. And, you know, and what I want to ask is, because some people struggle with that idea of ancestral or intelligence or spiritual intelligence, or you know what that means. My body's tingling. So what? Right? But how does that translate? How do you communicate with that? You know, because it's not words, but you're talking about things that you feel that resonate inside of your body. So how do you communicate with that? What does that conversation look like?
A pure conversation with myself in stillness and quietness, deeply listening, becoming whole and pure in the midst of that. Like, I just feel like I'm not, my body's here, but I'm not here. When I make that connection, you know, and we all have it. I think it's just really being able to understand yourself and being curious of who you are, being humble, and respect who came before you and the work that they put, you know, and honoring who they were. So for me, yeah, that's what it looks like and feel like. Yeah.
Seems like a lot of gratitude, a lot of appreciation,
Very
a lot of reverence, and beyond, for those folks who don't look into the depths of the expanded of ancestral, just the qualities that you just express in that connection are qualities that will make any human being feel alive, have more purpose, help expand more hope, and provide more optimism, knowing that what your ancestors carried, if they made it through that, okay, I have to do X, Y, Z. And just hearing you share that, I think, is so necessary in this day and age, in a world that we have so little hope and we feel so disconnected. But keeping in this frame of wisdom and doula, right? I notice you speak about birth as magical and a beautiful wind of emotions, right? And I want to give a fun fact. Miss E was there and present, holding things down for my third baby boy and our home birth in our household. And it's like, I can see what she means when you say, like, I don't see these roles as separate, because the same energy you bring in as a doula for my wife, or supporting a youth, or a parent at the Well and Montessori Foundation. What do you wish more people would understand more about birth, not just physically, but the spiritual and energetic side of birthing?
When I say birth is magical, I don't mean it's easy and or soft, right? I mean it's transformative, it's sacred, it's raw as it comes, right? I wish people understood that birth is a ceremony. You know, the energy in the room matters. So sometimes in the hospital, for me, and I know this is going to go live, but I bring my essential oils, I bring my sound bowl, you know, sometimes a little bit of Palo Santo, you know, however it comes, for me to be able to open up a portal close it, and the birth plan is very detailed. I don't want no one here, but the nurse, the doctor, whoever I need to, and whatever I need to do to protect that space.
Mm-hmm.
Because the more the mom feels very, very relaxed, the easier it'll be to be able to connect to baby, connect to her heart, to listen to her body as she needs to shift and move her hips. And, you know, it's a full body, mind, and soul when you birth. It's a ceremony.
Yeah.
It's a ceremony.
I think that's a key word. You think about any kind of ceremony or ritual. It's like you may not want to invite everybody into that sacred space.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, did we shower, but did you clean your energy? Is
It's
your
a
mom
spiritual
pure?
initiation.
Yeah. And it's a portal. It's like when you think about it, like we're creating life from nothing,
Right.
birth something. So as sacred as that is, what I'm hearing is the place of that actual landing into physicality needs to be held even more sacred than
Right.
the current systems in society.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a big change, man. There's like more home birth folks, more doulas being activated.
Yes.
Do you see that happening in our society today, where folks are starting to see it as more sacred and more ceremonial?
There's definitely an awakening, you know. I see more of the new generation wanting to do things more naturally, breastfeeding, and try not to do medication, you know. And it is, I see it as we're growing and we're getting into this new system. I feel that that they're being enlightened, and for me, it's my duty as well to let people know, look, your insurance pays for a not only a doula but a birth center. You have a choice to go to the birth center. You don't have to go to the hospital now. Birth centers are now able to process claims and go through their insurance. So that's a beautiful thing, right?
Yeah.
Because now if I don't do it at home because I can't afford a midwife, I can do it at a birth center instead of the hospital. So for me, that's important for people to know, in my community to know, that you can go to the birth center. You can have a doula to be able to advocate, support, and empower you.
Yeah, I often think about, like, there was a point in time where only women kind of gave birth and with midwives, and all of a sudden this Western system just hijacked this whole giving birth, and now we ended up in awkward positions in hospital beds with bright lights shining and beeping, and it just took a lot of the ceremony and soul out, but it seems like there's a revival of what is happening in the birthing place. So if you need a doula, Sage Mama Doula, you know what I'm saying? Oh, man, but we rocking.
Me of how birthing has become more transactional, right? More of just like a transaction and something that we do instead of celebrate, as you were both mentioning. And just like in that sacredness, I wonder if that, I know that imprint affects that child, you know, of what they're birthed into and the energy that they're birthed into.
Right. Yeah. Honoring the rebirth of a soul, right? Because that mom is also birthing herself, right? Going from, you know, if it's a new mom, from into motherhood, right? If it's a second time, it's different, right?
Alchemy.
You're getting to understand and open up different parts of yourself that you didn't know.
So that's powerful. That's powerful. And so a lot of the work that we do as an organization, we look at transformation, you know, turning your shadows into light, or alchemizing, finding balance in your shadows, finding, you know, purpose in the pain, and turning pain into power. And you mentioned a little bit about like challenges growing up, and you know, that inner child that you're connected to. But this question is focused on like trauma, challenges in life, and you know, I'll call it the gift of trauma, right? Because it has created you and me and us. But based on the traumas and challenges in your life, how have you transmuted that into purpose?
I think being able to work on myself and understand that everything that took place in my life, I didn't allow to determine who I was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened and it took place for a purpose, to shape me to who I was becoming. I don't know, and I don't think that if I had those trauma and those pains that I went through, I don't know if it would have made me the person I am today. Humble, grateful, and honoring life. I'm grateful to be here today. I'm grateful to have walked the path that I did and the choices I made. Maybe they weren't the best ones. Someone would, on the outside, would look at me and say they weren't the best one. But who's to say what was best for me? You know, and it made me the person I am today, the mother I am today. You know, the community member that I am today, the person that my family needs today. Because as I was healing, my mother and my father are healing. You know, my family is healing, my brothers. Because we all went through something. And as I learned about my parents' story, it was like a duality. Just different stages and different years of the timeline. But it was repeating itself. So then I chose that with my children, it wasn't going to repeat itself. So it gave me the purpose to say, enough is enough. And as I was doing the work and I made the change, my parents now honor that and see that they're making changes and they're opening up about their traumas. You know, and they ask me at times, why did you choose to do it differently? Yeah. So it's beautiful to see right now a reflection, like I see them in me, they see me in them, you know, and the changes that they're making now. And it's never late. It's never too late.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
I do appreciate that you lifted that up, because beyond time and space, I don't have to be just stuck here, right, in this trauma, in this pain. I can awaken each and every day and just bringing that to the forefront, you know. In this season of your life, you talked about, you know, you're healing past and you're healing forward. In this season of your life, what are you awakening to?
I would say what I'm awakening into is the best version of myself. The best version of myself without any pain. I think I have closed that chapter. So now you have Erica 100%. Like there's no victim mentality. It is pure. It is love. It is transformational. And it's evolving. I am evolving. I am growing every day. And I'm now giving my children and the world the best of me. So, you know, my voice, you know, it's like a revolutionary. I'm like, I'm here. You know. Yeah. I feel that superpower within me.
Yeah, I said you came back a little different since that vacation, girl. It's like you got a little swag. She went to the island, girl. Nah. It's true. Again, another song came to my head, but it's that NDRE song. Child, it's time to break the shell. Life's gonna hurt, but it's meant to be felt. You cannot touch the sky. So it's like this. You have to face it, and once you do, it is a supreme initiation into what you are calling Erica right now. And to really bring this into a closing reflection, because we could bring this in so many multiple dimensions. And you mentioned this, I think this is off before we even started the interview, you were just talking off script and we were communicating. But if you were sitting next to the younger version of you, right, the little Miss E, the one just stepping into this work, the one who was still carrying all that pain, all that victim mentality, what would you want to say to her right now?
You are brave. You are brave and you are strong. And we got this. Let's get to work. And we're doing it. You know, I've peeled layers and layers, and here I am at the top. Yeah.
This kind of reminds me of Interstellar, where he's talking to his younger self in the future, but how that plays a role. And lastly, man, what final blessing or truth would you want every listener to walk away with today? Something that will help awaken their own ancestral intelligence.
Believe in yourself. Take the time to do the work, to be in stillness, to feel the love within yourself, because you are pure love. And dissolve the ego-ness or egotistic, right? Release that, let it go, because it doesn't get us anywhere. But when you're in pure love, you become light and lighter. And you're able to just transcend and just be yourself, your true self, the best version of yourself. And that's what I want to let people know. Take the time to know yourself. Get curious about yourself and listen to yourself. Take the time in stillness and meditation. Listen to your body, because our body speaks to us, right? Release it, move it around, dance, listen to the rhythm for you to just be. And that's what I would say.
I'm living my best life. Hey, hey, hey. But nah, it's beautiful. And I know it definitely could probably be a part 44. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you can. I felt it. I felt it. Spirit still came through.
And that's a seat, y'all. Or it could have been a slow rollout. Who knows? But no, this final question is, we talk a lot about ancestral intelligence, and I think a lot of people think of ancestors as something of the past. But there's a question we posed to ourselves last year, and we were talking about like futurism, right? And the question is, what type of ancestor are you going to be? So 4, 5, 6, 7 generations from now, when there's Erica, the doula, in 40, 55, right, sitting here reflecting on their ancestry, and then it's just thinking about, man, that wisdom from Erica, the first Erica, generation Erica in our family, left an imprint on me as to who and what I am now. But what type of ancestor are you going to be?
I want to believe and I want to be, and I know I'm going to be, is the person that they remember, or the ancestor that love people, love humanity, love children, protect the innocence of children. Someone that can say, she was here. She was here and she made an impact in my life in a good way. And she loved me unconditionally, and I was seen, or she was able to look at me and she was able to see me for me. Not see me here, but see me for me, who I am, deep in my heart, regardless of whatever has been done. Yeah. That's the ancestor that I want to be. When my kids or students look back and think of Miss Erica. Yeah.
Good old Maya Angelou. People don't remember what you say, don't remember what you did, but they will always remember how you made them feel. And I think that will lay ripples across space and time, God willing, for eternity. So when the mind of Miss E comes into your heart, it activates that space that helps you move beyond.
And a reminder that I will always be there. I'm always here. Oh, yeah. That spirit will live forever.
Even from the spiritual plane, that shelter, that heart will still be infused in this reality.
So family, if this episode moved you, if the words of Miss Erica resonated with you and added a little spark to your heart, take a moment to like, subscribe, or even share this podcast with a mama, a person that needs more support, to really keep the energy and the essence that was shared here to continue to support the growth of others.
Yeah, and if you truly believe in what we're doing, what we're building, what we're creating here, consider supporting us. Every donation makes a difference in the lives and the impact that we are able to extend to our community, not just in Asbury Park, but throughout New Jersey. And, it's not just educators in schools. It is youth, it is parents, it is community, it's the entire ecosystem that surrounds that child.
Yeah, and you can also come through, visit our Conscious Community Center. We are there with some light open hours on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 11 to 3 p.m. You know what I mean? The door is locked. Just give a light little knock, and we can get you on the spot, and we'll have a nice little time in our sacred space. We offer sound healing. We offer yoga. We offer gentle beginner yoga. We offer meditation classes. We have breath and tech workshops and presentations, and we have a space to belong and connect. So check us out on our website at conscious.org. That is conscious with a K, and stay tuned for our Conscious Community Workers training. That is Red Joe Line.
Yes. But check into that, because the training that Erica didn't receive, and but the training that Erica contributed to because of her transformation and what we were able to put together, like, this is not just a regular training. When we have new staff and people onboarded, it's not just a regular training. It's a true embodiment, and we're offering that in the form of a training so individuals can be beacons of light in their community, and we can all take responsibility for what happens in our community by first taking responsibility what happens inside this body.
You don't need a degree to lead, right? You just need a heart to start. And your story, your lived experience, your willingness to grow is a space we want to meet you out. So if you're in the Asbury Park, Neptune, Long Branch community, we're providing full scholarships from those folks age 18 to whatever old you want to be. If you live in the community and you're tired of what's happening and want to make an impact, we are here to support you, family. So this was divine. You know what I'm saying? Grateful space and time. Miss E, thank you for joining us.
Yes.
And one last time, man, we appreciate you.
We care about you.
And we love you.
Hey, do-dum.